Good afternoon, and you're all very welcome here to Gorteen, home of St. Joseph's, Dora Bearfield Hurling and Football Clubs. And you're here for the second of the Premier Intermediate Hurling semi-finals today between O'Callaghan's Mills and Ruan. The winners to play, the Magpies from Clare, who defeated Whitegate earlier on in the semi-final in Dr. Daly Park in Tulla. Leo Doyle is my name, and I'm joined in co-commentary here today, and that is by Pat McNamara. Pat, you're welcome.
Good Leo, nice to be here.
Pat, look, we saw the first semi-final where Clarecastle demolished Whitegate in the end. We're coming into a game, here, O'Callaghan's Mills, many people's favourites for the winning of the championship from their first day out, taking on maybe Ruan, who've probably been one of the more consistent teams in the intermediate championship in the last number of years.
Yeah, look, the first thing we'll say is that Clarecastle well deserved their win. Maybe the margin was a little bit unfair on Whitegate in terms of the way they put up the fight, but the other thing, Leo, that has brought home to us, we're talking about wind. There's a savage wind, strong breeze sprung straight down from the Ennis side here towards the Quinn side, straight down in Gorteen. And look at our last predictions about the last game, how to affect the game, were totally off the boil. So it's very hard to say what will happen. The only thing we can say is that Clarecastle scored about 3 goals and about 10 or 11 points against it, only scoring 6 or 7 with it. So that'll tell you cannot judge the wind. It's all about the attitude of the players. And in this game, you said consistent Ruan, but the Mills have been favourites, Leo, since dropping down the last time for the last year's senior, that narrowly beaten by Corofin. The Mills have nothing in their hip to come back straight up, and the players they have so far have risen to that challenge. I reckon their half back line is very, very experienced, and Cormac Murphy midfield has been flying it. And up front then you've Gary Cooney, Shawnee Boyce and Colin Cleary with Jacob Lucknan on the freeze is fairly impressive. However, Ruan are here on merit and are going to make a serious battle of this. I think, Leo, the team that wins the toss, plays with the wind, will have straight away a big advantage in terms of getting a lead and maybe holding on to it in the second half by just blocking up things. Yeah,
and we're going to give you the line out of both teams, and we've been informed by both managements that there has been no changes to the 15 that have been named in the programme, but you expect the unexpected here before pre-match. We're going to start with the blue and gold of Ruan. In goals, it's Keelan Mounsey, Jason Power, Killian Ryan the captain, and Patrick O'Gorman is the full back line. Ashley Brohan, James Cullen and Brian Rowan is the half back line. Darren McInerney and Ryan Powder in the middle of the field. Shane Punch, Robin Mounsey and Patrick O'Halloran is the half forward line, with Jack McDonough, Aidan Lynch and Frankie Lyons the full forward line. For the Mills, in their green and gold with its ash in goals is Killian Nugent. Cathal McNamara, Conor Cooney and Keith Donnan is the full back line. Aidan Fall, Aidan O'Gorman and Sean Cotter the half back line. Fionn Hickey and Cormac Murphy in the middle of the field. Jacob Loughnane, Darren Moroney and Cara Henry is the half forward line, with Sean Bice, Colm Cleary and Gary Cooney making up the full forward line as the Mills go into their team huddle over there on the far side. Ruan have gone to the dressing rooms, and as we take a break here from Gorteen for the arrival of both teams out for the start of the game, we hand back to the studio. I suppose the Mills haven't come down from senior ranks. They carry, they've carried the burden of being heavy favourites into the championship, and they haven't diffused that in any way. They've taken on the metal. Ruan, the last day they've been up and down in the championship, and I suppose they were lucky to get through the last day, but a brilliant strike from Shane Punch, and who'll forget that free 2 weeks ago in Clarecastle with Billard the Tulla net, which into Tulla hubs. So, Ruan have nothing to lose here. All the pressure is on the men from O'Callaghan's Mills.
I would agree in the sense that the Mills have been installed as favourites since they were relegated last year, I suppose, really. And the Primary Intermediate is a new competition in Clare and has been highly successful, I think, in terms of competitiveness and the quality of the games and the closeness of the games as well. And the Mills themselves haven't been able to win all their games, but by heavens, they have been very, very impressive most of that competition. Ruan have improved gradually. Their last performance against Tulla was very good in itself. They still, you could say, stole it with that 4th minute of injury time goal from Shane Punch, a bullet from a 23 or 4 metre free out on the left, and Tulla were devastated. But Ruan obviously will feel they're here on merit, and I think we can't disagree with that. Look at the Mills, I think, are favourites. I think Clarecastle have justified their favouritism in getting to the final, and I do feel the Mills will. But unfortunately, the Storm or semi-Storm, the remnants of Storm, Amy, is going to spoil the game somewhat in that it's going to be points and wides going over from all angles from 90 metres going one way, and you have to get the ball into about 30 metres to score at the other end. So it's whoever makes the most of that wind, and whoever, I suppose, has a big half-time lead, which I think the team with the wind will have. And it's a question then, can they park the bus in the second half and hold on to the lead, Leo?
Yeah, and Pat, we walked across the field there pre-match. In fairness, the condition that the field is in very, very good nick, despite all the rain that fell in the last 48 hours. So the pitch isn't going to be, a factor as such. It's in as good as condition as can be for what has been thrown as before this.
It's an absolutely amazing condition, as has Tulla in a couple of hours ago as well. It is really, really, considering the lashings of rain we had Friday and for a while yesterday as well. It's an excellent condition. Nearly biblical amounts of rain falling, and the quality of these pitches now, first of all the initial design and laying of them, and then the care taken by the groundsmen and all the local clubs is second, definitely a credit to the ground staff here at having this pitch in A1 condition. So that will not be the issue. I just think as dealing with the wind will be the issue for these players, and I suppose dealing with the opposition as well. And look at we'll give a hesitant vote to O'Callaghan's Mills, but if Ruan have to win in the first half, Leo, if they can build up a lead, now we thought that in the last game, and it worked out completely oppositely. Both teams played better against the wind.
Yeah, and indeed his Ruan, and Killian Ryan has gained the first kudos here. He has won the toss and had no hesitation in pointing down towards the goals at the Queen Inn here to play for the first half. So it's there's rain coming in across we're getting everything, sunshine, rain, and we have the one consistent thing here today is we're going to have wind, and teams are now lining up for their pre-match photos here in Gorteen, and Niall Malone trying to get the teams up and running, but he's going to have to wait a small bit longer.
Sorry, Leo, you do have to feel for the players and managements here. Here we are in pretty rough conditions, wild and a bit of a nasty old squally shower there. They've been training 10 months, and they've been training 10 months for this, and it would be lovely if they had got, a match where totally and utterly hurling form alone and skills alone would decide who wins it. This time, the Star will have too much of an influence, but maybe not. Let's hope it doesn't.
Yeah, indeed. Both teams now go into their final pre-match hurdle. It's left to the team captains to say the final word. And I suppose, Pat, looking at the game, looking at the teams as well, you're looking at the subs, and you don't. Ruan brought in Christian Cummins, and the last day he made a major difference. Michael Barrow has made a contribution. I look at the Mills bench. You have Jerry Cooney, you have Patrick Donlan, All-Ireland captain from winning from 2013. Brian Donlan. There's lots of experience there on both sides.
Absolutely, Brian Donlan and Patrick Donlan particularly. We thought might start now as a squall you showed just before throw-in. Not good for spectators. Very hard on players. Lucky enough we're covered in here in our commentary position, and for once I'm really, really delighted to be standing beside you, Leo, in a small enclosed space. Yeah,
and with that, Niall Malone is the mentors making their way off the pitch here, and the second of the Premier Intermediate semi-final is on, and it's Cormac Murphy for O'Callaghan's Mills. Push the ball into the corner. Some players haven't even found their position. It's going to come to Gary Cooney. Gary, the man back from Oz, he's fouled there. Early chance in for O'Callaghan's Mills, playing into the breeze, and Niall turned in that ball very quick. Players hadn't really found their final positions, but it's a chance for Jacob Britnan to put the opening score on the board for O'Callaghan's Mills, hitting it into a stiff breeze from 35 metres out, taking his time to place the ball. But It's always good to get the opening score on the board, Pat.
Absolutely, and Jason is no better man. He's tough enough one, even though in normal conditions it'd be very easy gimme. And great Cormac Murphy there again has a great season for the Mills. Instigated that move from the minute the throw-in was taken. So Jason is bending now.
Yeah, Jason, and he hits it high. Is it coming inside? Just about. Comes in. First score on the board. For them in from O'Callaghan's Mills, from the stick of Jacob Burnett. Keelan Mountsie. The Ruan
Jason, and he hits it high. Is it coming inside?
Just about. Comes in. Push the ball on the board. In towards number 10. Number 10 is Shane Punch. Into Frankie. Frankie has the potential to do a lot of damage, but he shepherded it over the line brilliantly there by Keith Donlan, the man who's worked his way into this O'Callaghan's Mills team. Killian Nugent, tracksuit pants and our leggings on. There's a cold breeze, as I said, blowing down the field. A line ball coming for O'Callaghan's Mills. Cathal Mack, another man who has come up through the underage ranks for O'Callaghan's Mills, about to take this line ball 21 metres out from their own goals. Here to the sideline and on the opposite side from the stand here in Gortine. Cuts a great ball up along the wing. Going to be picked up by James Cullen. James Cullen, one of the players of the championship, gets that ball, gets away from Darren Maroney, puts that ball into space where Aidan Lynch, the workhorse, here's Aidan, throws it up and shoots on sight. That's a brilliant score from the stick of Aidan Lynch. We spoke about him many a time, Pat. He is one of the great club players in Clare hurling.
Look at the two spectrums of seeing there. James Cullen, a fantastic young centre back, and Aidan Lynch brought it down over the bar in one go. What a player! And
that puck out from Killian Nugent was intercepted there by the wing forward Patrick O'Halloran. He gave it to the same man again. And I tell you one thing, Lynch, when he opens those shoulders and he has the jersey, he's the Australian rules of Clare hurling with the jersey the way it is. He's 2 points on the board. Sharp puck out from Killian, gives it out to Donlan. Donlan gets the ball, gets it into the middle. He's robbed by Lynch again, and he gives it to Punch. And the Mills hit. Is the umpire going for the flag? Indeed, it's gone out to the left hand side and gone wide. And I know the Mills have to work it out, Pat, but there's another chance going to begin. They've 2 out of 3 and Pat.
2 out of 3 bet all. Aidan Lynch, look at what a guy he is at this stage after his years of service. Still the main man up there and giving him fantastic leadership there, getting 2 points and giving him a bit of confidence with the win to know that they will be able to use this breeze to their advantage. Yeah,
puck out from Killian, out to Conor Cooney, across to Cathal Mack, to the centre back coming out here to Fionn. It's Fionn Hickey. Fionn Hickey takes on the challenge, gets the ball back out to Conor Henry. Conor shoots it into the breeze. Is it going to come inside? A shot from Conor Henry. Great reply from the stick of Conor Henry, a very, very underrated player for O'Callaghan's Mills, makes the score. Ruan, 2 points. O'Callaghan's Mills, 2 points. Keelan Mountsie goes short out to the midfielder. The midfielder is Darren McInerney. Gets away from the challenge of Darren Maroney. Here's McInerney, goes into trouble, and it's won by the full forward. The full forward is Colin Cleary. Gets it back, but Cullen gets it out here to Killian Ryan, the full back over here, drives it long in towards the square, in towards Punch, who's taken up full, gets in inside as Conor Cooney lets that ball pass him. Punch, brilliant flick away there by the captain Aidan O'Gorman, a very underrated player. O'Gorman gets the ball out to Henry. Henry puts a hand in it. He's going to run at the Mills defence. He gives the ball out here to Sean Cotter. Sean Cotter now back in the half-back line. There comes to Gary Cooney. Gary, who has spent a lot of time in Australia, but the ball is won by O'Gorman. O'Gorman gets it out to Ryan Power. Man of the match from there, win over Tulla. The ball comes down to Frankie Lyons and Keith Donlan. Donlan minus the hurley, but Donlan gets his body over the ball, pushed in the back by Frankie Lyons. Good play from Donlan, free out for O'Callaghan's Mills, Pat.
Yeah, the Mills playing good ball in against the Breeze. They're carrying a bit and they're getting fair ball into their forwards. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to score in there. Although I did say to you coming over before the game, we'd be lucky if we see 5 points each half for the team playing to that win. Well, the Mills have 2 good already, so we might have put that kibosh on that prediction as well.
Good free from Nugent. He's one. He comes back into Brian Rowan. Rowan, who has made his championship at the old age of young age of 31. The ball comes to O'Gorman. O'Gorman is blocked down by Lynch. Lynch takes on 4 O'Callaghan's Mills. Puts the ball out to Mountsie. Robin Mountsie, brilliant flick away there by Cormac Murphy. Mountsie gives the ball back out, comes out to the corner forward. The corner forward is Jack McDonough. Jack McDonough shoots. Jack McDonough puts it out to the left hand side and gone wide. The score remains O'Callaghan's Mills 2 points, Ruan 2 points. Killian Nugent, the Mills goalkeeper, in no particular hurry. 5 minutes gone. Look at Mercy going. He's going to go short out to the far side, out to Cathal McNamara. Cathal It seems like Ruan are giving away the puck out. Mac does well, gets the ball into Conor Cooney. Conor, what a servant this man has been to O'Callaghan's Mills. Goes shot to O'Gorman as the Mills played a short game. Blocked there by Robin Mounsey. Robin Mounsey, who has carried an injury into the game, hasn't done much training for Ruan, but it's Aidan Fall. What a workhorse this man is. He's blocked up. James Cullen, you don't get time in the ball with Aidan Fall around, and he wins this ball to Fionn Hickey. Hickey puts that ball into the corner, looking for Sean Bice. Sean Bice being chased by Jason Power. Bice, a Clare under 20 star from this year, hits the ball. He's very close to the sideline over on the far side. He keeps that ball in play. But James Cullen coming across the Ruan centre back, drives that ball down the field, down where Aidan O'Gorman should pick it up. Cathal Mack working back, and that ball goes into the middle. Cathal Mack has to win it, but lucky enough to get away. But a good flick away out to O'Gorman. O'Gorman gives it out here, as is Jacob Lucknan. Where's the runners? Gary Cooney isolates inside. Imagine the ball will go towards Gary and Patrick O'Gorman. Gary gets down on it. Gary trying to take on O'Gorman. Gary turns a shot from McCooney, the former Clare senior. He puts that ball over the bar. 3 points for O'Callaghan's Mills, 2 points for Ruan. O'Callaghan's Mills kind of weathered that early Ruan storm. Pat.
Absolutely, Gary Cooney there. What a guy to aim a ball in. That's so solid, so balanced. But a brilliant piece of defending with Jason Power on Shawnee Boyce as well. Jason Power, very, very impressive quarterback from my reading in the intermediate championship this year so far. A
quick puck out there, good puck out from Mounsey. Here's Frankie Lyons. Lyons has gone inside. Lyons, a shot. Oh, and brilliant goalkeeping by Killian Nugent. That chance was there for Ruan. A ball over the top. Lyons was going through, but Nugent came out like a cat out of the goals and put the Ruan man off. He put it out to the right hand side. Score remains O'Callaghan's Mills 3, Ruan 2. Killian Nugent. Man, he scored 7 points in the Clare Cup final a couple of years ago down when they won the Cup final against Clooney Quinn. Clooney Quinn in the senior final tomorrow. The ball breaks out here to O'Halloran, the wing forward for Ruan, and he equals proceedings here. 3 points for Ruan, 3 points for Mills. Good start to this Premier Intermediate semi-final battle.
Well, both sides dealing really, really well with the
the
elements which aren't very suitable for hurling, and say very entertaining. Again, the great sod, dry, solid ground, just a little basic course of grass in it, no soft bits, no waterlog, and they really are responding by giving us a really entertaining game so far.
Yeah, that ball is worked out by O'Callaghan's Mills, put that ball into space. That ball is meant for Sean Cotter, but it's cut out by Darragh McInerney. But Cotter is going well, gets the ball into the engine, the real machine for O'Callaghan's Mills. Hickey badmintons that ball across, but he's picked inside there by Killian Ryan. Great underage player for Clare, comes out, great leader for Ruan. Being taken on the Mills defect keeper. He's robbed there by Aidan Fall, who gives it to Jacob. Jacob is going to have a pot, puts it up into the sky. This could go anywhere. It hangs in the breeze, and it's going to be cut out by the cornerback. The cornerback is Patrick O'Gorman, puts the ball out into space, but he's won by Fionn Hickey. Sean Bice, first time he got a bit of space. Is he going to have a pot? Puts it up into the air. Sean Bice shoots, and Sean Bice does what Sean Bice does, puts it over the bar. A really tremendous young talent coming, Pat.
Shawnee Boyce, every day we see him playing, he's contributing superbly to the Mills' efforts, shooting points and some goals from all angles. Very lively on his feet, great control, a very, very, very promising and exciting player.
4 points to 3 in favour of O'Callaghan's Mills. We're gone 9 minutes here in this first half in Gorteen here live on Clare GA. That puck out comes from Keelan Mounsey. Mounsey goes long, but he's going to be picked up by O'Gorman sitting back in the pocket. O'Gorman takes the challenge of Aidan Lynch and spoons that ball out to Cormac Murphy. Cormac Murphy is told to run, and he runs, gets that ball up into Darragh Moroney. Darragh's first intervention here. Moroney recycles that ball quick down to Hickey. The Mills moving well, gets that ball into the midfield where Murphy goes for the second, and Murphy puts that ball over the bar. In fairness, Murphy has been one of the players of the Premier Intermediate Championship, and he showed all his class there with a good score. 5 points to 3 in favour of the Mills, Pat.
Oh yeah, he was outstanding against it was a Tulla down Clonlara a number of weeks ago early on. He got 5 from play from midfield. But Cormac Murphy, another one of these people who was lit up this Premier Intermediate Championship.
That ball is bucked out, it goes astray, goes to Moroney. Moroney tries to get away from Darragh Cullen. Hand up, being pulled back. Should be a free for O'Callaghan's Mills. Is a free for O'Callaghan's Mills. Moroney took on James Cullen, and maybe Ruan should go back to what they were good at, route one, get the ball in the short game. Didn't work on that occasion, but the way the Mills are set up, Pat, it's very hard to break them down.
It is, but as well as that, they're hurling with more confidence in Ruan. maybe a little bit more, I don't know, as stage fright. Some of their lads aren't getting into the game, and with the breeze they have, like, they should be able to supply the better ball into that full line and put pressure on inside. But it's, in fairness to the Mills, they're winning nearly all the breaks, collecting more of the possession around the middle third, and they're dominating the game. But they're also using the ball very well.
Yeah, Knockdown just knocks that over the bar. His double scores here is 6 points for the Mills, 3 points for Ruan. Mounsey goes long with this one, looking for Frankie Lyons. Frankie Lyons comes out in front of Donlan, the cornerback, but Fionn Hickey working tirelessly. The ball is taken off Aidan O'Gorman. Here's Aidan Lynch. Lynch goes through a shot. Great save by the goalkeeper Nugent to Shane Punch, and a brilliant block down by Conor Cooney. Frankie Lyons, that was a chance for the Mills. Killian Nugent now playing cornerback. The ball comes out. He replies it, goes back into the goal. Frankie. The Mills have had, or Ruan Pat have had 2 goal chances, and with their rule those misses, Aidan Lynch wasn't sure what to do. He maybe should have passed it across. He shot, but Nugent got down to the left to make a good save.
Now, in fairness to Lynch, he shot low, which you should do. Daisy cut really long and a bit to the one side. But in fairness, Nugent is a serious goalkeeper. Got down to it well. There was a second chance when I think Punch pulled on it, but at that stage the chance was gone. The cavalry had arrived back for the Mills, and they're going to clear this now with Killian Nugent.
Yeah, and a low ball to Killian, not a free you'd expect, but that ball goes out to Aidan Ford. Is it going to stay in play? It does stay in play. And here's Ford. He's like a Trojan horse going up along the far side of the field, taking on Robin Mounsey. Maybe it could have been pulled for steps, shoots, but that one tails out to the right hand side and gone wide. And you know, the Mills have been hitting good ball, and I'd say they won't be happy with that. You know, Aidan shooting from kind of very close to the sideline on that occasion.
Yeah, when you're against that breeze, you probably definitely that goes over when you're with the wind on a calm day and it's the rousing score. But against that storm, he'd better off crossing that ball across 21 and see what might happen, put a bit of pressure on.
That ball comes out from Keelan Mounsey out to Frankie Lyons, blocks it down for Aidan Lynch, but he's picked up. And here comes, is it the full forward? The full forward here is it Colm Cleary, out roving out from his full forward. That ball goes in over the top and it goes back is Ashley Brohan for Ruan. Back to his goalkeeper. The goalkeeper recycles this ball quick out to Robin. Keelan to Robin. They're the Mounsey brothers. The ball puts the ball in. Frankie Lyons been well marked by Keith Donlan. Here's Frankie, turns back out. Is he going to have a pop? Frankie has a pop, and Frankie puts it over the bar, makes the score. 6 for the Mills, 4 for Ruan. Good reply, good score from Frankie Lyons.
Well worked score, and indeed, if the Mills have Shawnee boys at one end of the field, classy. Good turn, good feet. Well, like West Frankie Lyons.
That ball from Killian Nugent with the strike came out to McInerney. McInerney gives the ball out to Jack McDonough. Jack McDonough shoots, and Jack McDonough makes it a score. The minimum is 6 points for O'Callaghan's Mills, 5 for Ruan, and Nugent goes to the shot puck out again, and they're playing into the breeze, but Niall Minoan has given him a lifeline on this occasion. Not to, Killian is experienced enough and trying to, maybe hurrying the puck out maybe a bit much. He's probably getting monster players moving out to the side. Where's he going to go this one? Aidan O'Gorman makes himself available, comes out, gets that ball across, looking for Fionn Hickey. The ball comes down to us clearly, but it's won by Ruan, and it's going to Patrick O'Halloran and Brian Rowan. We're very, very close to the sideline here, and it's Rowan. He's had a tremendous championship, but he's been pulled back there by Fionn Hickey. His pass had gone to Jacob Loughnane, and a chance. And where's the free taker? You'd imagine Aidan Lynch. No, we'll see what Aidan Lynch has. He changed his free taking technique from other games? I presume he hasn't. There is a lot of talk about how long he's taken to take the frees, but I suppose if you take as long as you want, as long as they go over, Pat.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Yeah, the last day, all right, we were surprised when what ref?
Yeah. We'll get back to it in a second. Yeah, it's Aidan. Here he's on the Mills.
The ball's in place now, so we'll count the seconds after. It's just place now.
Here he goes, and just out inside the Mills 65. There's an injury picked up for Ruan. Is it Dara McInerney? But he's good to go again. Here's Aidan Lynch. Pat Meany, the Ruan selector, staying outside in the field to observe the situation. I suppose he doesn't want to come across. But I suppose Pat, you have plenty of time, but he's taking a bit quicker than normal. Here's Lynch, strikes it down towards the road goals at the Queen End. Same response. We're level pegging. Level pegging here in Gorteen. O'Callaghan's Mills 6, Ruan 6, and the breeze, Pat, seems to have died down a small bit.
Yeah, well, that shower has gone. The sun is shining a little bit again, so maybe as the rival of a shower, you always get a lift in the wind. So maybe it'll settle down a bit for a while again, but it's still pretty strong in favour of Ruan. Great free from Lynch there, in fairness. Yeah,
that puck out for Nugent goes out the far side. It's Ruan here. They come again. The ball comes to Mounsey on the move from centre forward, goes in over the top to Shane Punch. Frankie Lyons gets it, but Conor Cooney with a deft touch there comes out, cuts across out to his own half-back line, comes out to the middle. Cormac Murphy coming for O'Callaghan's Mills, getting the ball, gets that ball out into space, into Fionn Hickey. Hickey can run. Where's the runner? He puts the ball in front of Gary. Gary goes down with the left hand, but the ball comes to Bice. Bice is flicked away by the cornerback, Jason Power. Power does well, but here comes Cooney. Cooney bearing down on the Ruan goal, pops the ball across. Is it Cleary? Cleary trying to get in there, but overplays the ball, and the Mills Ruan defence scramble back and come out with it. It's the centre back Cullen, hits it up in the air out for space. Aidan Lynch has to win this one for Ruan, but he's been beaten by Aidan O'Gorman. Great pick up by O'Gorman, switches the ball across towards Darren Moroney. Moroney leaves it for Bice, and it's here on the far side. It is number 15. It's Gary Cooney. Cooney shooting. Is it coming inside? And it's gone out to the right hand side and gone wide. We're still gone 16 minutes here in the first half. It's the Callaghan's Mills 6, Ruan 6 in a very, very entertaining Premiership Intermediate semi-final. The puck out goes short from Killian Mounsey out to Killian Ryan. Ryan puts the ball across into Frankie Lyons. Frankie gets out in front. He leaves it off for Aidan Lynch. Aidan Lynch and Conor Cooney. Lynch doesn't come up with it. Cooney leaves the ball for Aidan Fall. A strong man, one-hander, gets the lovely ball into space. Is it Jacob? Jacob gets a chance to plant the feet. Does Jacob put it over the bar? Again, no, gone out to the right hand side and gone wide. Chances going a begging for O'Callaghan's Mills and Keelan Mounsey with the puck out. Pat, I'm looking at the set up for Ruan, and even though they're playing with the breeze, there's no one within 40 yards of the O'Callaghan's Mills goal.
It's very strange. They're trying to play a short game out of the fence constantly. I know now they don't want to put too much pressure on Aidan Lynch maybe up front, and Shane Punch to be trying to catch ball, or Frankie, but Frankie has the ball.
Yeah, here's Frankie. He uploads it. Punch down his shot. He's in a chance. Brilliant save from the goalkeeper, Killian Nugent. He has come to the rescue. That's the third occasion. And Nugent gets a great clearance out for the Mills, but the Mills are going to have to look at that. You know, that ball came in over the top and the pop past to Frankie Line, but Nugent had the situation read. The ball out to Moroney, Darren Moroney, that is. Puts the ball into space to Sean Bice or to Gary Cooney. Good touch from Cooney, close to the touchline on the far side in front of the main stand. The ball is going to cut out. The cornerback is Jason Power. Power has it, gets it out. He's robbed by Jacob Loughnane. We are over 20 metre on the 21 metre line. Is Niall Malone going to throw it? There's a ruck over there on the far side. Who's going to come up with the ruck? And indeed, Niall calls a halt to proceedings. 17 minutes gone here. 6 points each. I tell you, Pat, Nugent has saved. That's not, three great saves in the first half. That would have given Ruan momentum to go forward, and he's still. Ruan coming with it, would give them momentum. It's Cullen to Mounsey. Mounsey is beginning to have an effect, but he's blocked. Gets the ball out to Fall. Fall shoots. This is a dangerous one. In the top of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper does well as Gary Cooney is brought to ground. I'm not too sure. Mounsey open the shoulders. Now is Route 1 down on top of Punch and Lyons. And Lyons is gone down on top of Punch and Lyons. Nugent advances on the goals. Gets the ball out here to Sean Cotter. Sean Cotter. Namsley puts this ball up into the corner. Great ball out here. Is it Colm Cleary? Cleary tries to play around with it. Plays around with it. Gets away from the tackle of Patrick O'Gorman. Cleary coming towards the goals here. He had it caught 3 times. Indeed, the Niall Malone was advised by a number of the Ruan management, but quite rightly a free for when is Aidan Lynch coming out. No, he's told to go back. I would imagine the centre back James Cullen, a member of the Clare minor team last year, anchoring that defence here, anchoring it quite well for when he's been told by Niall Malone to go back. We're gone 18 and a half minutes, Pat.
You have to wonder, does the possession game in modern times favour the team playing against the breeze? The Bridge are using the ball, the Mills are using the ball very, very well. Ruan are trying to play possession game when they should be delivered maybe more quickly inside, but inside, in fairness, the next man in defence for the Mills, and they're dealing with any high ball that's good in without a bother. So maybe both teams will play better, they're better holding and be more effective when they're against the breeze in this modern game. It'll be dying to see what happens in the second half.
And Robin Mounsey in that occasion goes short. Instead of going long, leaves it out to Patrick O'Halloran. Patrick shoots very close to the sideline, but that ball is gone out past the right hand post, and the score remains 6-9. So the score's going to begging for both sides. Killian Nugent drills this ball low, and it goes astray again to Robin Mounsey. Mounsey is trying to get into space. He's going to have a shot. Robin doesn't come inside. I don't think it comes inside. But you can see, Pat, looking at Robin Mounsey, he's not moving at full pelt either. He is carrying an injury, and he's having an effect in his overall performance.
Well, his stock and trade is covering ground at enormous pace, Leo. Brilliant engine, brilliant footwork, and he certainly seems to be struggling in that department.
That puck out, Loughnane puts up the hand and comes down with it at the second attempt. He's been pulled to the ground there. I think maybe by, was it Brian Rohan on this occasion? No, in fact, it is Ashley Brohan. Loughnane, a strong man, great outlet to win puck outs. He's 60 metres out here from the Ruan goals, very, very close to the sideline. I see Pat Donlan, Clare All-Ireland medal winner from 2013, going in with the Vijay Lishka towards Sean Cotter, and no better man to give advice while they're out there. And then Donlan, Jacob, being the gentleman he is, comes back a couple of metres down back to the 65 metre line, and the flags are beginning. The breeze has died considerably here in Gorteen. A free for the Mills, 10 metres in from the sideline here, opposite the stand side here in the beautifully appointed pitch of Gorteen. Loughnane puts this one up. Is it going to come inside? No. He allows for the breeze, but the breeze didn't do its work. And Keelan Mounsey with the quick puck out as Ruan recycled that, and the referee has called back the puck out from Keelan Mounsey. Very, very quick. I'm still not 100% sure of that rule, Pat. I thought once the ball went wide, you could puck it out straight away. But
I think it's the word interpretation, Leo.
Interpretation, but Niall wasn't back out, and here comes Keelan. Goes short to Killian Ryan. Is he going to recycle it to the goalie? Here he is, and here is his route one on this occasion. There's no need to ask where this one is going. It's gone down on top of Punch. Punch doesn't put up the hand, puts up the hurley, doesn't come down with it. He's picked up Cathal McNamara, sweeping across, gives the ball out to Aidan Fall. Aidan Fall on the far side. A very busy Aidan Fall puts that ball into the middle, but he overhits it to O'Gorman. O'Gorman swipes, but Mounsey with a nonchalant flick. That's Robin Mounsey. Nonchalant flick. Puts the ball over the bar. A good score from the stick of Robin Mounsey. Nonchalantly flicked that ball away from the challenge of Aidan O'Gorman. Pat Ruan going to the lead, and we'll get you more in a second. The puck out is 7-6. Good puck out from Nugent to Fionn Hickey. Fronted up by Brian Rowan. He gives it back to Sean Cotter. Maybe getting that ball. They need to hit that ball that bit quicker. It goes inside. Cullen, really young, good centre back, gives that ball out to McInerney. McInerney puts that ball into Frankie. Frankie, threatening men with great pace, doesn't get the ball at the first attempt. Aidan Lynch in there, shoving them the full back of Conor Cooney, not Conor Cooney, but it's Keith Tunnan around. Who's going to come out with this one? We're 25 metres out from the Ruan goal. This 7 points to 6 in favour of Ruan. And who's coming out with it? Is it Aidan Fall? He gives it out. Comes out to the back out. For the Mills, it's Cathal McNamara, puts a lovely low ball up to Jacob. That's Jacob Loughnane. Jacob comes across, flicks that ball out to Conor Henry. Conor gets that ball in, quick ball in over the top. Bice is gone, or is it Gary Cooney? Gary Cooney is gone for the Mills. He's been pulled back. There's a free coming for the Mills. Being pulled back there by the cornerback, Jason Power. I suppose he had no choice on that occasion. But Pat, once that quick ball went in and Cooney won it, the goal was on.
And I mean, if ever there's a good foul to give away, that's it, I think, because if he broke through, he was going to score. But I think when Ruan go along, there's one problem, is they haven't the bodies in there, Leo. There's an extra defender, at least, if not two, and they're mopping up. Keith Donlan, Conor Cooney, Cathal McNamara, and those lads are mopping up, and then you have the releasing it out to Aidan Gorman, Aidan Fall as well. But one thing about Mounsey's last point was he mightn't have his fastest feet under him because he mightn't be as fully fit, but he'll not come out with the hands.
Yeah, and here comes Jacob with his 21 metre free. Meat and drink to Jacob Loughnane. Puts it over the bar. That's his third free of the day here. We're back to parity. It's 7 for O'Callaghan's Mills. It's 7 for the men from Ruan. Keelan Mounsey with the puck out. We're gone 24 minutes gone here in this first half. Mounsey goes for the far side of the pitch, out in towards Frankie line, gets out into space, gets out in front of Cathal McNamara this time. Here comes Frankie, puts the ball into the middle towards Aidan Lynch, but Aidan Lynch is robbed by a very, very busy Conor Henry. But Conor he puts that ball across. I know Conor played a bit of soccer with Kilkishen Celtic and kicked that ball out to Fionn Hickey. And here comes the Mills with experience, Conor Cooney. Cooney coming up along the side here, opposite there's the stand side. Cooney, no one chasing after him. Aidan Lynch trying to get there. Gets the ball out to Sean Cotter. Cotter goes for the score. This one isn't going to come inside. It's hanging on the edge of the square. Loughnane could put a hand on this one and it will cause problem. It comes to Bice. Bice, who has 1 point got. Johnny Bice turns and hits that ball across, looking for, I'm not too sure where it's going. It's still in play here, down towards the corner. Killian Ryan, the Ruan fullback, down in the very corner back position, opens up the shoulders and puts it. Is it going to stay in play? It's Robin trying to keep it in. Robin lets the ball over his head. It's picked up by Cormac Murphy for the Mills, taking on Mounsey, gets away from him. Not an easy thing to do. Puts the ball into space. And the ball, it is Robin Mounsey. It was away from the shot from Robin, and the ball goes out to the right hand side and gone wide. Indeed, it was Ryan Power who was the man that was chasing back there, a man that never gives up the ghost. Nugent goes short on this occasion, where Conor Henry is available. Henry shown well for O'Callaghan's Mills. And Niall Malone, I'm not too sure what's after happening, but Niall
having a word with
He's having a word with Robin Mounsey and a court to be for Robin Mounsey. They were in close proximity to one another. I think maybe Robin was given a bit of advice on that occasion, but the ball has to go back to the goalkeeper, Keely Nugent, for the puck out. We're gone 25 minutes here in the first half. As I said, level pegging. 7 points for O'Connell's Mills, 7 points for Ruan, and Keely Nugent goes short out to Conor Cooney. Conor thought he heard the whistle. No whistle coming. But here comes Conor. Allowed all the time of day to come up the far side of the field in front of the stand. Puts the ball down into the corner. Down to Bice. Bice puts up the hand. Drops it. Gets it at the second attempt. Cuts inside. Here comes Bice. Recycles the ball. Loses it out there to James. Oh, and a chop by Shawnee Bice on the stick of James Cullen. And players beginning to get to know one another. Darren Moroney getting involved in a bit of action over there with James Cullen. Niall Malone calls him aside, and not too sure, was it Aidan Fall, the senior of all that group or there, comes in to break it up free. Robin Mounsey back on his own 45 metre line here in Gorteen. The sun is out here in Gorteen in the eyes of Nugent. This is going to drop on the danger area. Mounsey, that ball drops in and top, not indeed a top, but it drops over the bar of Keely Nugent. Good shot from the stick of Robin Mounsey. Puts Ruan back into the lead, 8 points to 7, 4 minutes left in the first half, Pat.
Yeah, and I suppose just about right, but I think the Mills would be the happier of the two. But we said that about Whitegate maybe an hour and a half or two ago as well, that they'd be happy going into towards half time, be so close. Again, it's about how the players use this ball and use the conditions. And at the moment, the Mills are probably using them better because against the there's some run.
Great run by Keith Donlan. Donlan from that puck out for Nugent, and Fall coming on the loop. He gets it into Henry. There's a chance of a score, of a goal for the Mills. Can he offload it? He offloaded to Shawnee Boy. What an interception by the cornerback. The cornerback, or the fullback, was Keelan Ryan, but it comes out to Cooney, and Cooney takes I suppose he done the right thing, put it over the bar, level pegging again, but there was a chance there for O'Connell's Mills, but great play by Killian Ryan. But Gary Cooney probably done the right thing, but keep that scoreboard ticking. 8 points all. Puck out from Keelan Mounsey, not his best puck out. Goes out, knocked away by Sean Cotter. Sean, a versatile player, lit up the championship a couple of years ago on the forward, doing well of wing to back today. Gives a hand pass. Maroney's gone straight through. He's gone straight through the middle. Here comes Maroney. A shot brilliantly blocked down by and he's gone out to lift a pull. I'm not too sure, was it Sean Bice pulled in it at the second attempt, but it goes out for Maroney, went through the middle. But I think was it Cullen and Killian Ryan. Ryan, using all his experience, came out and closed down that channel. 8 for the Mills, 8 for Ryan. Kieran Mounsey puts that ball up in the air, looking for Frankie Lyons, who makes the run. That ball goes over the top from Cathal Mac. Gary, I was going to say Gary Cooney, but he's Conor Cooney, but Conor in back, put that ball back to Keelan, out to Killian Nugent. Nugent gives it out to Aidan O'Gorman. Short ball from Aidan O'Gorman. Got away from it. Gives it to Maroney. Maroney trying to play the ball. Gets it out. Cormac Murphy took about 8 or 9 steps. Got away with it. He's robbed. Here come Ruan coming out with that ball. Gives it to Mounsey. Mounsey is going to play this ball in towards Frankie. Frankie puts up the hurley but doesn't come down with the ball. Good defensive play there again by Cathal Mac. And Killian Nugent gives the ball out to Conor Cooney, and no chase coming on Conor. Conor puts the ball into the middle, into Sean Cotter. Sean Cotter, the wing back, tries to play around with it. Frankie Lyons closes him down, but that ball goes into space, and Maroney, and we could say that Cullen is maybe having the better of this battle, but puts that ball into space looking for Lyons. Lyons does what he wants to. He turns the cornerback Keith Donlan, but Donlan is a sticky operator, and Donlan does absolutely brilliantly at the cornerback. Comes across, gets away from the challenge of Aidan Lynch, and puts the ball into O'Gorman sprays the ball out here to Fionn Hickey, and Fionn has plenty of space but being now closed down by 2 Ruan players. Gives the ball back to his partner in crime, Sean Cotter. Cotter gives it back to Hickey, and here come Sean Cotter, gives the overlap. Gets away from the challenge of Mounsey came high, or it was Ryan Power on that occasion. Cormac Murphy sprays the ball into Bice. Lovely low ball, exactly what Bice wants. Bice is taking on the cornerback, and a shot from Bice. Is it coming inside the post? Indeed it is coming inside the post, and the score, Ruan the Mills go back into the lead. 9 for the Mills, 8 for Ruan. Great score from Bice, but a beautiful ball in from Murphy.
Beautiful ball in from Murphy, who's been a very effective midfielder all through this championship, as we said before. And Boyce is one of those guys, he just lights up the game. The games we're watching every day with just 3 or 4 really classy scores, always a nightmare for a callback. And in fairness to Jason Power, one of the better callbacks around the place.
And here's the ball robbed by Mounsey. That short press went out to Jacob Loughnane. Loughnane spilled the ball. Mounsey didn't spill it, picked it up and put it over the bar. We're back level again. 9 for Ruan, 9 for O'Callaghan's Mills, and Killian Nugent in no particular hurry. We've Keelan in one goal, we've Killian in the other, and Gary or Conor Cooney tying the boots, trying to play down, tying the clock. Naim Lone, there's definitely a word in the air, and I'm not too sure what happened, but there's a score we have to get. There's a problem with the scoreboard, I would imagine. Naim Lone is calling for something to be checked over there on the far side.
It's 10-8, it's given, is it? Now it's fixed. Yeah.
Is it fixed?
I think there's a crossbar in the way there, Leo, but I think it's fixed.
Yeah, and here comes Killy Nugent. We will correct that at half time. But Nugent puts this one up into the air, goes long. Loughnane puts up the hand, doesn't come down with it. And it's won by Conor Henry. Darragh McInerney in there for a win, but he's picked up by Jack McDonough. Jack McDonough gets that ball. He comes out into space. Here come Ruan. Shane Punch, a shot from Punch. And Punch, does he put it over the bar? Indeed, Shane Punch does put that one over the bar for Ruan. Now it's 10 points for Ruan, 9 for O'Callaghan's Mills, but we have to be sent to be corrected on that error on that home. And Killy Nugent, the breeze beginning to blow up again here in Gorteen. We're on the throes of half time. Killian trying to get the players to come short, swings that arm, gets it out into the middle of the field, where Loughnane goes up and once again doesn't come down with it. Conor Henry goes up for it, doesn't come down with it. He's picked up by James Cullinan. Cullinan having a big influence this game, puts this ball into space, but he's back there to Conor Rocky Cooney. Cooney puts that ball in towards Brian Rowan, and he's going to be picked up by, what a pick up by Boyce, lovely pick up. He gets away from Jason Power. Boyce is going through, this could be a big score, a shot, and Keelan Mounsey will be disappointed, but the Mills will be apt to lose it, delighted with that one. Mounsey should maybe have got a stick on that, but Sean Boyce will be delighted. That's a big score just coming down the track at half time, Pat. 9 to 10 points.
A vital time to get as well, but Boyce was the right man. He has the pace, and the left hand shot was good low one, but again probably you think was somewhat savable, but he said savable up here. And Joe, what a time to get it, just 10 seconds before the half time.
The last action of the first half, and that was a real fill-up for the Mills. 1 goal and 9 for O'Callaghan's Mills. 10 points for Ruan. Ruan will be disappointed. They had worked their way back into the game. The Mills will be delighted with how they coped into the breeze here in Gorteen. And at half-time, Pat, O'Callaghan's Mills 1 goal and 9. Ruan at 10 points, and definitely momentum with O'Callaghan's Mills.
No question about it. And again, it'll be fascinating to see in the second half, Leo, is the Rees as big an influence on the game as we thought? Because as I said, most teams now are placing balls, to fellas 20, 30, 40 yards away with hurley passes, hand passes, and they're carrying the ball as well. So, Ruan, you think, when they went long, they got nothing out of it. They got their scores maybe out the field a bit already, but firing long balls wasn't working. Aidan Lynch hasn't been effective as early. Shane Punt not getting on the ball often enough. Got one nice point, all right. Mounsey is doing his best around the middle of the field. James Cullen at times. But look, with that breeze, you'd expect you needed to be 4, 5, 6, 7 points up. But the Mills really have played well against it. They have really used that ball well. Their defence has been totally on top in general. Some of the Ruan scores were got from far out, but inside then they have a jewel in Shawnee Boyce, who's a real danger. Also Jacob Loughnane, he's doing his business. Gary Cooney as well, a couple of points earlier. So Cormac Murphy at midfield is busy as usual. I think Sean Cotter there is doing a bit of work in the half back line as well, as are the two Aidens. So the Mills in a better position, Leo, you think, but again, we just wonder will history repeat itself? Maybe Ruan will up their game in the second half, maybe use the possession game more, but at the moment the Mills are in the ascendancy.
Yeah, and that score from Shawnee Boyce puts a 2-point differential inside. We have a convention meeting from both sets of management here right down in front of us, but the Mills have made their way. Management have gone to the dressing room. Ruan still deep in thought here. There's a lot of thinking to do here, but as we take our halftime sus here on Clare GATV in a kind of a collaboration with Scarf Bay Queen's Radio, we thank East Clare Driving School as well for their help here today. So on a scoreline of 1 goal and 10, 1 goal and 9 for the Mills, 10 points for Ruan. Please come back and join us for the second half. Here Jason, and he hits it high. Is it coming inside? Just about goes in.
Yeah.
First score on the board from Darren Maroney. He puts that ball into space where Aidan Lynch, the workhorse. Here's Aidan, throws it up and shoots inside. That's a brilliant score from the
Down over the bar in one goal. What a player.
And that puck
Second
out from
chance.
Kenny Nugent was intercepted there by the wing forward. Patrick O'Halloran takes on the challenge. Gets the ball back out to Conor Henry. Conor shoots it into the breeze. Is it going to come inside? A shot from Conor Henry. Great reply from Patrick O'Gorman. Gary gets down on it. Gary trying to take on O'Gorman. Gary turns a shot from McConey, the former Clare senior final tomorrow. The ball breaks out to O'Halloran. O'Halloran, the wing forward for Ruan, and he equals proceedings here. 3 points for Fionn Hickey. Sean Boyce, first time he got a bit of space. Is he going to have a pot? Puts it up into the air. Sean Boyce shoots, and Sean Boyce does what Sean Boyce does. Puts Hickey. The middle's moving well. Gets that ball into the midfield where Murphy goes for the second, and Murphy puts that ball over the bar. In fairness, being well marked by Keith Dunn. And here's Frankie, turns back out. Is he going to have a pop? Frankie has a pop, and Frankie puts it over the bar, makes the score. That ball from Kenny Nugent with the straight came out to McInerney. McInerney gives the ball out to Jack McDonough. Jack McDonough shoots, and Jack McDonough makes it a score. So Pat you plenty time, but he's taking a bit quicker than normal. Here's Lynch, strikes it down towards the road goals at the roads at the Queen Lynch. Same response, that ball into the middle, but he overhits it to O'Gorman. O'Gorman swipes, but Mounsey with a nonchalant flick. That's Robin Mounsey, nonchalant flick.
He's really fit, but knocking out the hands.
Yeah, and here comes Jacob with his 21 metre free. Meat and drink to Jacob Rattel. Puts it over the bar. That's his third of Nugent. This is going to drop on the danger area. Mounsey, that ball drops in on top. Not indeed on top, but it drops over the bar of Kenny Nugent. Johnny Boy, what an interception by the cornerback. The cornerback. The fullback was Keelan Ryan, but it comes out to Coney, and Coney takes the Bice. Lovely low ball, exactly what Bice wants. Bice is taking on the cornerback, and a shot from Bice. Is it coming inside the post? Indeed, it is coming inside. The ball, it comes out into space. Here Gortine, as I said, home of St. Joseph's Jura Bearfield GA Club, a team who are in the throes of training for the senior county final in football next Sunday against the holders of Éireog. But while we're here in Gortine this evening, it's what's more at stake is who's going to be the final of the Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship. The second team, the Magpies from Clarecastle, are already here, and they're here in force, surveying the scene here, surveying the opposition here in Gortine this evening. And at half time, on a scoreline of O'Callaghan's Mills 1 goal and 10-9, it's Ruan 10 points. That goal, Pat, from Shawnee Bice just before half time is a real fillip for the Mills going in for the start of the second half.
Yeah, psychological blow against Ruan too as well. I mean, they could say they were happy enough to be close enough because, you know, in the second half maybe with a run and possession game they might be able to score plenty against the wind and maybe hold the Mills from adding on too much to their tally. But that goal really did have an effect at half time in Ruan going in with their heads down a little bit and the Mills going in with their tails cocked high. So yeah, nevertheless, there's still 32 minutes of hurling to go, and the Wind never won a game or never lost a game. His players' attitude and the team talk for Clarecastle seemed to have worked brilliantly at half time. Let's see, was James O'Sullivan, was Leon Quirk and Patty Keane, Garrow, Rowan and all the guys able to lift Ruan in half time there?
Yeah, indeed. Niall Malone waiting for the rest of the Ruan management to come off the field. The second half is on here, and here is won by Ryan Power. Ryan Power for the Mills gets the ball to Robin Mounsey. The Mills now are Ruan playing down to the goals at the town end here, or at the Éireog end in the second half. The ball is won by Aidan Lynch. Aidan Lynch, who started off the first half on fire, didn't seem to go out of the game. Conor Cooney going back towards his own goals, gives the back down to Killian Nugent. That's the second time he's done that, and Killian had to get back, and his touch had to be good, and the ball comes out to Cormac Murphy. Murphy puts the ball up here in towards Colin Cleary. Lovely flick of the ball from Cleary. Cleary the foul. He gets away from the challenge of Partick O'Gorman. Cleary has gone through. He's gone down brilliantly, blocked down by a very, very impressive James Cullen for Ruan. Comes out, the 19-year-old, 18-year-old comes out, puts that ball out here to Ashley Brohan. Keelan Mounsey now defending the goals at the Queen end. Gets the ball out here to Jack McDonough. Jack, who has a point on the board from the first half, gives it back to Cullen. He gets the ball, delivers the ball into the corner, in over Cathal Mack, but he's been beaten by Partick O'Halloran. O'Halloran has 1 point from play in this half. Brought that ball down. Frankie Lyons is on the far side. Who's coming out for chain punch like any quarterback? Tries to keep that ball. Aidan Lynch. Cathal Mack does well. Brilliant flick away by Fionn. Fionn Hickey has a very impressive half, and the ball comes off the stick, I think, of Jack McDonough out over the line ball, I would imagine. Not too sure what Robert Harty, he's given the line ball in favour of Ruan, so I would imagine Shane Punch, he's over there. I would imagine he's going to take it. Ruan have to make a very, very positive start here, Pat, if they're to get back. You know, I know they're only 2 points behind, but they're playing against the elements here in the second half.
And they were lucky they didn't concede that flick by Colin Cleary to put 2 players off their guard and beat them completely, and a great run in afterwards. And then James Cullen to across. 2 brilliant pieces of work.
And here's that ball. Mounsey goes low. This one is in. Frankie Lyons, can he get his handed? He has his handed. He gives it out to Power. Power is going through. A shot. Brilliant hook there by Conor Cooney. Lyons it there. Cooney gets the ball, flicks it out to safety. His father Joe Cooney, TD, a selector with his mid-team. And who's coming again? Ollie Cooney is using all his experience. Hand pass goes astray, but well picked up by Aidan O'Gorman. Gets away from the challenge of Ryan Power. Darren McInerney comes out. Ball into Murphy. Murphy does well. Mounsey gets that ball, tries to flick it away. Being picked up by McInerney. Jacob Loughnane must have been, and that ball comes off the hand of Jacob Loughnane. He's gone in favour of it's favour of Ruan. That ball, Robin Mounsey, John Bugler having a kind of a pre-county final run out here as linesman here in Gortine here this evening. As we said, we wish John the very best. We've done it already today, but wish him the very, very best. Robin Mounsey with this line ball 60 metres out from the O'Callaghan's goal. The breeze beginning to blow up again. This ball will go into Frankie Lyons in the corner. He goes short to Aidan Lynch. Aidan doesn't get out in front of that one, but it's Aidan O'Gorman that who has the ball. O'Gorman has really had a very good game at centre back. Jacob very tight to the line here, and that ball, I would imagine that came off this. I thought that one came off Shane Punch, but Ruan, they're like a rugby team. They're moving their way up along the sideline, very close here to the sideline. They're making their way. Progress is slow, but they're getting up there. This ball, Robin Mounsey, I would imagine he'd put this one. Aidan Lynch, sleeves rolled up, and he has him back down again. maybe feeling a bit of the cold, gone in around the square. So I imagine is Robin. He's looking for the runner. He waits, gets the ball out. Is it out to Power? Power, the midfielder, is pulled back, but he's beaten on this occasion by the impressive Cormac Murphy. They play. There's a good handball club in the Mills, and he puts that ball down to Maroney. Maroney's been chased by Brian Rowan. Rowan is a sticky, combative customer, and here's the man. Is James Cullen. Cullen gets that ball out here to the number 8, McInerney. McInerney loses it, where he's beaten by Conor Henry. Back again is McInerney. McInerney trying to get through the challenge. A hand pass been robbed by Henry. Henry loses the ball in at the second hit. McInerney in. Who's in? Punch comes in to add his strength and size to see can this be everyone. There's players on the ground. And it's Jacob. Jacob comes out with the ball for O'Callaghan's Mills. Puts the ball into space. Into Colm Cleary. Put a ball. Fionn Hickey in space. Hickey has a chance for a score. Is he going to get a score? He gets around Jeff McDonough. Hickey turns inside. That's a very good score from a very impressive Fionn Hickey. Another score for O'Callaghan's Mills. 1 goal and 10 for the Mills. 10 points for Ruan. It took 4 minutes, but an important score from the Mills to get that scoreboard up and running.
Absolutely. I mean, the first score of the second half is always vital, and it was got by the Mills. It was after a lot of hard work, and maybe a lot of hard work on Ruan's part trying to set up something, but the Mills got it.
And the ball flicked in by Sean Boyce into Cormac Murphy for that ball that was lost by Round Power. But Cullen, he has been the most impressive man in the field here in so far in this intermediate game. Cullen being blocked down by Aidan Fall. Mounsey gets the ball out to Brian Rohan. Rohan doesn't miss with it. Push that ball up to Frankie. Frankie, does he get up in it? No, but brilliant defender by Conor Cooney. If Cullen is very good at one side, Cooney is equally impressive at the other end. And he goes back. Now this one is Killian Nugent. Deft touch of Nugent. Short control. Gets the ball out to Henry. Is Conor Henry going to go for a score? He's Ilana Parker. He sells the dummy to Darragh McInerney. Trying to take on McInerney. Now he's gone back into traffic. But he gets the ball out to Fall. Fall shoots for O'Callaghan's Mills. But Fall goes out to the right hand side for O'Callaghan's Mills. But that breeze getting very, very strong again. Ruan just finding a bit of trouble getting that ball forward, and we leave it go for a minute as Mounsey finds a good ball out to Darragh McInerney, gets the ball into Cullen. Cullen takes on the challenge of Darragh Maroney, leaves Maroney and gets the ball in, and Jacob Lecnan gone down injured for the Mills, and the Mills are going to have a look at that. He went down, the knee seems to have gone. Frankie Lyons trying to take on Donlan. Donlan does well, maybe arguments for a free, gets the ball out to Fionn Hickey. Jacob is now up again, and we'll see that ball is driven down by Sean Cotter, gets the ball down to Gary Cooney tries to take on. There's a free coming for O'Callaghan's Mills. Cooney is dragged to the ground by the cornerback. I think it was Killian Ryan on that occasion. Free in for O'Callaghan's Mills. But Pat, the breeze is having a distinct advantage for the Mills here in the second half.
It is with the clearances from the full back line, and we're going up, and they have maybe slightly more better target men in this half than Ruan had in the first half. The other thing is interesting that Killian Nugent isn't falling into temptation of just driving the puck outs way down. Short puck out to a loose man all the time.
Yeah, and here's a free, and there's a card, I think, for O'Callaghan, or for Ruan. No, not a crying, I thought it was Killian Ryan, but Jacob puts that ball over the bar, puts 4 points in the differential, either in a corner. It's now 1 goal and 11 for the Mills, 10 points to Ruan. Ruan are going to have to do something really massive to get back in this game. A short puck out from Keelan Mounsey. Keelan gives it out to the cornerback. It's Patrick O'Gorman. O'Gorman gives it out, puts Ashley Brohan under pressure. I think under too much pressure as that ball went off the stick of Brohan out over the line, and good play, attacking play there from, I think was it Aidan Fall, came in and made himself big and added to the challenge from the full forward Colm Cleary. Line ball for Aidan Fall, not beyond his remit of putting this over the bar. Normally a good man to cut the line ball. Goes back short, gives it to Conor Henry. Mounsey gets away from the challenge of Mounsey. Blocked down brilliantly there by Ryan Power. Gives it to Mounsey. Mounsey gets the ball, flicks it into space for McDonough, or for the corner forward is McDonough. McDonough gets it back out, gives the ball out to Ryan Power. Power puts this ball, this is a dangerous ball, and it is O'Gorman turns the cornerback of Carl McNamara. But who's out there? Only Killian Nugent. Nugent does well, but he loses it to O'Gorman. There's a chance here for Ruan. O'Gorman, he gives it out to Shane Punch. Punch, a shot over the bar. The goal was on. Pat McNamara, the goal was on, but Shane decided they put it over the bar, brings it back to 3 point differential, 1 goal and 11 to 11.
I wonder would Shane one time before have taken on that goal chance and maybe carried a few more yards, but certainly the point was important just to settle down a little bit and get the score in. This game is still very manageable, and I mean, didn't as if the Mills are pulling away with that breeze either, you know. But Clare now nearly in position.
Yeah, great puck out from Nugent, came down to Loughnane. Loughnane lost it. Who's over on the far side of the mids? Is it Gary Cooney? Gary Cooney gives it back out to Maroney. Maroney shoots off his left. That's Darren Maroney's first real big intervention in this game, but a good score from the stick of Maroney. A very, very good hurler. Puts that ball over the bar. 1 goal and a 12 for the Mills. 11 points for Ruan. Mounsey goes short out to Ashley Brohan. It's a sharp ball. Here come Ruan. It's Power, who was man of the match in the match last day against Tulla. Goes to ground, tries to find Mounsey. He's been well tackled there by Hickey, but it goes out to Mounsey. Mounsey, Robin, shooting off his left. Class score from the sick of Robin Mounsey. He may be carrying an injury, Pat, but that's it. 4 points from Flay.
He's a very, very classy player, Leo, and that's a lovely strike. Again, he's not as mobile, but as I said, the hands and the eyes are certainly doing the business.
And indeed, I see Brian Donlan. What a servant this man has been to the Mills, warming up here. You know, he may have played his trade in intermediate championship all year, but he's been a great servant to the Mills. Here's Cormac Murphy on the run. Cormac close to the sideline. A shot from Murphy. Does it come inside? A score. One of the scores of the game from the stick of Cormac Murphy. And Cormac puts that ball over the bar. 1-13-12. Brian Donlan coming on. I would imagine maybe is it Jacob is the man that's going leaving the field to play. It's Conor Henry, is it Conor Henry is the man that's leaving the field of play, and he maybe had got blocked down. Conor seems a bit bemused. I thought he was doing okay. Maybe got blocked down in the last ball, but he pays the price for being blocked down. He had a very good first half, I thought, for O'Connell's Mills pass, and maybe surprised to see him going so early.
I suppose when you have a bench, you will use it, Leo, and maybe that's how the Mills are looking at it. I know they won't be foolish enough to go thinking ahead to the final, but I suppose the more guys you give games to, but I think Ruan have something to say about that other than they're still in the game, Leo, but they probably need to get a green flag to get them really going.
Yeah, that puck out from Mounsey is Keelan out, and Robin, this man is beginning to have create an influence in the game. He goes to Lynch. Ruan need Lynch to come into the game. He's been conspicuous by his absence as Conor Cooney puts this ball into the middle. Here's a man that's really doing very well this year. Oh, I tell you, the cornerback went down. He went down very close to the grass, and that was Jason Power. But here comes Cullen. Cullen comes through the middle, puts the ball in here for Ryan Power. Power, who's coming on the outside. He gives it to Punch, who gives it to Lynch. Lynch is going to shoot, but not the greatest shot. Cathal Mack has to deal with this ball, and he does quite well and comes out with pace. Gives it to Aidan O'Gorman. O'Gorman with this sharp ball comes out to Aidan Fall. Jacob Loughnane on the overlap. Here comes Fall. Fall, he's gone through. His strong man had to put him back. He's been pulled back and fouled by Ashley Brohan. In fairness to Fall, he's a strong man, very hard man to stop in flight, Pat.
Yeah, look at he's in fairness, and look at he's been a powerhouse for. He can play in any position too as well. I think he would have been playing centre forward there a couple of years ago for the Mills, but when he makes a run, Leo, he makes it as if he means business, and I thought he might offload there to Jacob Loughnane, but won the free instead, and this is a very useful free now with the breeze, well within his distance anyway, no question at all that with the breeze, and he's fairly accurate usually as well, so let's see.
Yeah, Jason being put back by John Bugler. John getting the signals, getting the hand signals in right for the county final tomorrow. Jacob is now 60 metres out from the Ruan goals as Keelan Mounsey inside in the goals down towards the Queen End, as we said here. The breeze blowing behind Jacob Loughnane. Jacob taking his time to take this free. Can he put 5 points either on the corner? Jacob strikes it straight and through over the bar from the stick of Jacob Loughnane. That's his 5th point of today. 114 for the Mills. 12 points for Wen. Shot puck out from Keelan Mounsey. Goes out looking for Power. Power beginning to win a bit of possession in the pocket. And here comes Ryan Power. Gives the ball out to Punch. Punch gives it to Mounsey in close proximity. Puts that ball in. Frankie Lyons tries to get the ball. Being well held there by Keith Donlan. Donlan, quite unassuming cornerback, doing quite well at cornerback. And here the ball is won by Lynch. He gets a foray, tries to puts the ball into space. Punch puts up there. Hurley, can he come down with it? It comes to Frankie Lyons' space. Well, who comes out with it? The warrior himself, Pat, no other than giving a great display, and he puts this ball up there. It's Conor Cooney. Cooney is going to be picked up by Ryan Power. He's pretty partner. McInerney gone in the loop. McInerney gets it into Lynch. Here's Lynch trying to get away, not able to get room to swing to Hurley because Cormac Murphy's in proximity. Maroney comes in to sweep it up, gives the ball out to, here comes Brian Donlan, young man for the Mills, bellies his ears, and Brian Donlan shoots Unfortunately, goes out to the left and gone wide. Pat, those Donlan brothers have given great service to the Mills, and Brian Donlan, you know, he may be coming towards the end of his career, but I tell you what, great puck out, won by Jacob Loughnane. Clearly, hand passed the ball into Maroney. Maroney has 1 point got. Maroney has 2 points got, beginning to come into the game. Darren Maroney, now 1 goal and 15 as the Mills are hitting for home, 115 to 12 points, Pat.
But no arguing with just we got a chance to talk about the Donlands, unreal leaders and committed men for the Mills, but Darren Maroney there, a lovely shot again, and look what the wind is making that easier now, because when they shoot from 60 yards or 50 yards even, it's only, all you need is a little flick and the wind will take it on for you once you have it between the posts, and that's how it's turning out.
Yeah, that ball, the poke out is won by Sean Cotter. Sean Cotter out to Hickey. Cotter has time to survey his options, puts a lovely ball in, blocked down by the cornerback is Jason Power. Power gives it to Cullen. Jacob came in at speed there, gives the ball out to the other Power. That's Ryan in the middle, gives it to Mounsey. A shot from Mounsey. Can he get his fifth? But that one is going to, the wind is going to tail that one out to the right and wide. In the intermediate semi-final taking place today in Kilnina, it's a Gunlow 11, Ina Kilnamona 10. The second semi-final going to take place there tomorrow between Smith O'Brien's and Kilmaley. The ball is back with Brian Rowan. Brown is simple but effective. He gives the ball out to Darren McInerney. McInerney is pulled back. Free coming, full back by Cormac Murphy. 115 to 12 points in favour of the men from O'Callaghan's Mills. And we're gone 14 minutes in the second half. Pat, what can Ruan do? They probably need a goal to really ignite their challenge.
Yeah, Aidan Lynch is kind of gone out of it. He's trying his best to get into it, whether or not the Brills are crowding in there, but you have great players in there for the Mills. You have, as I said, Fall and McGorman and Conor Cooney. What backs they are to have inside there. They played senior hurling for years and years and years, and they're just making it too difficult for Ruan to get any space. And if Ruan can get any space, the scores aren't going to come.
Yeah, they're clearing some Keelan Nugent, years of experience. Gets the ball, gets it down to Cullen Cleary. Cleary puts up the hand, comes out with it. James Cullen, a real player for the future as Cullen tries to win that ball back in his own 21 metre line, and he comes out with it.
Brilliant.
He's being pulled back. In fairness, Pat McNamara, he has been the real shining light here today for when, as unfortunately does a darkness there for Fionn Hickey as he goes on and picks up an injury. Also, is it Cormac Murphy's picked up an injury, and that's concerning for Marie Donlan. The Mills physio has gone back off the field again, so all must be okay.
It's not too overstated, Leo, about a player, but for a young man, I think at any grade, senior, intermediate or any other grade this year, I think James Cullen is as good a centre back as we've seen playing in this year's championship, and at his age, producing that, and he's not just taking loose balls and long clearances. He's winning hard ball as well, and he's sidestepping, he's driving it out, he's finding men. Brilliant player.
Yeah, that free from Keelan Mounsey comes up along the line. He came up to Patrick O'Holland, flick away, came in from Aidan Fall, doing his defensive duties quite well as well. And Robin Mounsey coming out to take this line ball for Ruan. That left hamstring is heavily strapped there for Ryan Mounsey as he's digging, trying to get a bit of a tee up there for himself. But which you would imagine he's going to go with distance for this one. They have to get that ball in around the square. They need a goal or something, any kind of a score. There's an instant there. We'll see what John Bugler did. He see it. The ball breaks inside. He's in around the 14 metre line. Who's going to come out with it? And it's Sean Cotter. Sean, who has been effective, quite but effective there for O'Callaghan's Mills. And the ball comes out. Here's Brian Donlan. Donlan, space. Puts that ball, switches that ball across diagonally. Should be in over the shot of Darren Maroney. Maroney leaves it for Colm Cleary. Cleary, this could be game, set and match. Cleary, goal from the stick of Colm Cleary. And I would imagine that's the goal that could propel the O'Callaghan's Mills challenge to get to the Premier Intermediate final. 215 to 12 points. But a ball that came across. Brian Donlan has had a significant influence since he came into this game, Pat.
Yeah, the way he made a mistake of maybe going for the glory point the last time. I'll tell you one thing, he threw a great ball across the field there. He could see that there was a 2-on-1, broke to Cleary, but Cleary got inside, only one result. Nothing Keelan Mounsey could do about it. Great score, and you were thinking it's going to be a Clarecastle Mills final, but we won't right off Ruan because Mounsey's on the ball in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Keelan's puck out finds Robin. In fairness, he's trying mentally to get it. The ball goes into Lynch. Lynch has turned. He has turned Conor Cooney. Lynch is shot. and it goes over the bar. Good score from the stick of Aidan Lynch. Just couldn't get away from the clutches of Cooney, who stuck to him like a leech. And a couple out coming from Killian Nugent, and Nugent goes quick out to Brian Donlan. Here's the man that has tremendous experience, and he's shown it all. Again, that diagonal ball as he puts that ball into space, looking for Shawnee Bice. It's Cleary, or is it Gary? Is it this time? Gary Cooney, the man home from odds. And here comes Cooney. Cooney shoots. Is it coming inside? Doesn't come inside on this occasion. Goes out to the right hand side and gone wide. 2-15 for the Mills. 13 points for Ruan. The winners to play the Magpies. Great puck out from Robin from Keelan to Robin, the Mounty brothers. And the ball comes in, and who's out first? Ollie Cooney. This man really gets a kind of a heavy challenge towards in. The ball comes to Fall. Is he going shooting? Aidan Fall just drops this ball in. Keelan Mounsey has no one to challenge him inside. Does well. Gets the ball out to James Cullen. Cullen for Ruan. Going to give the ball out here to Ashley Brohan. Brohan puts the ball into the centre, into Darragh McInerney. McInerney now being fronted by Maroney, but the ball comes in to Robin Mounsey. It's Ruan now. Get that ball in on top of Lynch. Lynch puts up the hand, goes down, but it's Conor Cooney. Conor Cooney, what a game he's having at full back. And he throws that ball up in the air and just gets it out to safety. The ball comes out to the cornerback, James Power, 30 metres out. The ball is picked up by Sean Bice. But Power does well. Gets that ball out to Ashley Brohan. Brohan gets the ball into Robin Mounsey. Mounsey, in fairness to him, he's rugby tackled by Jacob Lucknan. Is there a car coming from Jacob Lucknan? You'd imagine so. No, nothing coming from Niall Malone. In other games I've seen that's getting booked for that. No coming on this occasion. But look at the play goes on. Robin Mounsey on his own 65. Ruan would like him nearer the other goals. But this one is dropping in towards the danger area. Can Lynch catch one? He has one. He's been pulled.
Penalty.
Is there a penalty? Surely there's a penalty for Ruan on this occasion. Nothing coming. Shane Punch has the ball. Who's going to come out with it? It's going to be Patrick O'Halloran. O'Halloran shoots. O'Halloran puts it over the bar. There was claims for penalty there, Pat. I thought maybe we'd have to see it on the replay.
Certainly two hands going out, but he was in fairness to the ref, he's he's about 70 metres closer to than we are, so we'll have to abide by his judgment.
2-15 to 14 points. Killian Nugent and Fionn Hickey makes a run. Brilliant ball from Nugent into space. Maroney flicks it, doesn't get it, but it still comes in to Cleary. Cleary flicks it into Hickey. Hickey, who was down injured a moment ago, has tons of pace. He's gone to ground again. Flicks that ball back out. Cleary, is he going to add a kind to the goal? He has just scored, but he puts the ball into Bice. Bice, who got a shot. Non-shot flick, and Mounsey puts up the hand, comes down with it at the second attempt. Difficult catch as he was going away from the goals. Out to Killian Ryan. Ryan gives it out to Rohan. Rohan gets away from the challenge of Brian Donlan. Not an easy thing to do. Brian Rohan coming up the far side of the field. Anyone running for him? Frankie Ryan's is drinking. Here comes Frankie. Now out on centre forward. Frankie has pace to burn. And here goes Frankie. Frankie. There's a man called Frankie goes to Hollywood. Frankie's going towards the goals. And he puts that ball out to Ryan Power. 2-15 for the Mills. 15. In fairness, Pat, you have to give credit to Ruan. They're not thrown in the towel.
Fair play to Ruan. So Woodland is playing very well now. Mounsey is very much in the game. James Cullen, as we've said, and Patrick Holland and a few more there making their presence felt as well.
And here's a man who's more than made his presence felt. My lake to him, Aaron Machine, is James Cullen. Brought to ground. I think was a Shawnee Bice. I think he kind of, as a Gary Cooney, he dived into the challenge on that occasion. Free for James Cullen, 40 metres out. There's also a sub on for when the sub is Christian Cummins. He's on instead of Jack McDonough. Connor Wynn warming up here for Ruan. James Cullen puts his ball out to the line, very tight to the sideline. Patrick O'Halloran working, throws him up along the line here, tries to get away from the challenge of Aidan Fall, and a kind of a high challenge by Aidan Fall. Went for the ball, but I suppose he gave away the free. Good free to give away, tight to the sideline. Robin Mounsey for Ruan. Just outside his own 65 metre line here, tight to the sideline, right in front of his own manager, the Ian Quirke man who played full back for Ruan for years, has given great service on off the field as he did on. Mounsey goes across the ball. Can Frankie get the paw on one? He has it in his hand, drops it, and Cathal Mack, he also played a bit of soccer in his time, gives it out, kicks it out to Jacob. Jacob hits it downtown, but Jacob doesn't come inside, goes out to the right hand side and gone wide, and Sean Dye, the Mills manager, not happy with that one. The puck out from Keelan Mounsey out to Cullen out to Darragh McInerney gives it to Robin Mounsey. Robin tries to spray this ball into the corner. They're trying to isolate Lynch and Cooney, two of the probably at the veteran stage, but it's Cooney who comes out with this one, gives it to Sean Cotter. Cotter has been quiet but played very, very effective, Pat.
Exactly the phrase I use, quietly effective. Sean Cotter, he's always available to us for an out ball as well for the rest of the backs, which is a very, very good thing to have in your team.
Here's the ball over with Gary Cooney. Gary Cooney being fronted up by 3 Mills players, but it's Killian Ryan. The ball comes out to Cummins, and he's robbed by Hickey. There's Hickey doesn't stand on ceremony, doesn't come inside the post.
Yes.
I think it comes inside the post. That's a marvellous score. His second score today from the midfielder, Fionn Hickey, makes it 2-16 to 15 points, but that's shocked Colleen on different in the forna a Rees Park.
Tá agus is an dechar an isé de Ruan teachta reis sa Clare seo ostra de gwil stirrum ag séide in a gwine, so you'd have to say that the Mills look like they should be able to take this game home now, but check the time, there's 14 and a half, more than 14.
14.
The clock seems to stop, so we'll have to
but
check
anyway,
the time.
it's Patrick O'Halloran who's gone off, and he's after being replaced by the men who's after gone through a strenuous warm-up. It's Conor Wynn. Line ball for Ruan. As for O'Connell's mates over on the far side, is it Sean Cotter going to take this one? Sean Cotter has been playing very well in the half back line. Hickey he went down injured, but he's got a real burst of energy since that. He's running like a train, and that line ball from Sean Cotter has gone back out over the line. I see Patrick Donlan going in with water again. Will we see his introduction to bring the Mills home into the Premier Intermediate final? The Magpies, as we said, already in the final. Line ball going to be taken over there on the far side of the field, and Robin Mounsey. Pat, you'd wonder about Robin Mounsey. You know, you'd like to see him, even though he has 4 points contributed and he's central to everything goes on. He hits a great ball across to Conor Wynn. Wynn tries to go down, but gets it at the second attempt. Gets it back to Brian Rowan. His ball is knocked away by the cornerback. The cornerback was Patrick O'Halloran, or O'Gorman, sorry. He's trying to break his run. Rowan, he tries to get the ball up, and he's pulled for over carrying, and the Mills really kind of putting a choke on this Ruan challenge. But is Killian Nugent going to come out to take this one? They're calling Killian, and Killian will be
strolling out there.
He's leaving it to Jacob, but Killian will be in no hurry coming out. He's Jacob Loughnane on his own 65. He's Killian. I'd say Killian is interested in taking it, but I think they're leaving it to Jacob. 2-16 to 15 points for the Mills, free on their own 65, about 15 metres in from the stand side here in Gorteen. The breeze, Eric Grimm, and here comes Jacob taking his time. Here he comes, gives it air. Up she comes, and here it comes. And I think Jumper is going for the flag. Makes it 2-17 to 15 points, and the Mills Pat comfortable at this moment in time.
Yeah, it is, and deservedly so, Leo. They have been the better team. Plenty of good effort from Ruan, plenty of good individual performances as well. But overall, the Mills are way stronger and looking deserving where they are. And it looks like they're going to go on to represent their parish in the Paddy Brown Cup final. And I'm afraid our timing has gone haywire. So I'd say I'm not sure what's left, to be honest with you. We'll have to double check with somebody.
Yeah, and indeed, with that is another free for Jacob Loughnane, as a tired Ruan challenge here. Beginning to maybe die away a small bit, and a chance for Jacob Loughnane to put another spanner in the works as the crowd, a lot of people beginning to leave. A really good attendance here at Gorteen, and Jacob Loughnane, which is free, 50 metres out, directly in the centre. And Jacob, does he put it? Yes, another nail in the coffin of Ruan. 2-18 to 15 points here in Gorteen. Mounsey with the sharp poke out gives that ball out to Christian Cummins. Cummins has always had an influence since he came in, but hard to make an influence as the Mills are absolutely ravenous. Is Jacob gives it to Fall. Maroney's gone in the overlap. Can he give it to Maroney? It comes into Fall has gone straight through. A strong man shortens grip, but shortens it out to the left hand side and gone wide, and the score remains. O'Connell's Mills 2 goals in 18. The Mills 15 points. They're ravenous. Maroney has a chance to get his 3rd point of the game, and Maroney just puts it out of there. 2-19 to 15 points, and maybe Maroney come to terms with that challenge of James Cullen, but that's his 3rd point from play, Pat.
Yeah, but in fairness to Cullen, he's had a marvellous game, and Maroney is a lovely hurler, and Maroney has got 3 deserved good points, but there's no question at all. But as Mounsey tries to get going again, he looked like he's entitled to a little free there for a chop, but didn't get it. Yeah,
that ball, and he's gone down now. Definitely the injury is beginning, and here's a man, Cotter. Look, in fairness, he's had a great game. Gets the ball out to Cormac Murphy. Murphy pushes that ball. There's a 1-on-1 here for Gary. Gary gets out in front of the cornerback, and Gary not too sure of the coordination wins on that occasion for Gary, unusual, and the ball comes in as Jason Power gets that ball out here to Ashley Brohan for Ruan, coming up along the side here opposite the stand, gives the ball into Cullen is going to go long, maybe getting a bit tired, but that ball goes into Punch, puts the hurley on it, gets it, here comes Punch, is he going to push the ball out, sprays that ball out into space to no one in particular. It's Conor Wynn, but Conor Wynn is tight to the sideline outside there. Is he going to lob this ball in the square? No one inside, and that ball comes back. Well, who's it, man? A very impressive sub. He's Brian Donlan. Brian Donlan puts the ball over the head of Brian. It's Brian and Rohan. It's Brian Donlan puts the ball into space, but being picked out by Ryan Power, who's had a better second half. And Ryan goes to ground, fouled there by Cormac Murphy, I think, for the Mills, and Ryan gingerly picks himself up. Another sub coming on from here comes the man. If you're looking for experience to close out a game, Pat McNamara, no better man than the man who brought Liam McCarthy back to Clare in 2013. Pat Donlan, where's he going? Is he going into a full forward position? Looks like he's going into a full forward position, and it looks like is it Colm Cleary, the man who got the goal here in the second half, that has really given O'Callaghan's Mills the cushion, and to have the luxury to take off a man like that and bring on and a player like Patrick Donlan speaks volumes.
There's club hurling going on all over the country today, Leo. I'm not sure how many of them can afford to bring in a former Clare captain to come into the game when it's one as good as just to add to their firepower. And Patrick Donlan, what a servant he's been to Clare and the Mills.
Yeah, and that free comes up from Brian Rohan up here to the far side, over here to the stand. Aidan Fall trying to come out for the Mills, but he's, in fairness, Mounsey, even though he's been hampered by injury. The ball comes out to Frankie Lyons. Frankie puts the ball back into Robin Mounsey, close to the sideline here. Is Robin, is he going to go for a score? They're looking for the goal. He just lobs it in. And who's inside? Oli, none other than Sean Cotter, and Sean Cotter, he will be in line for, I suppose, to be well in consideration for man in the match here. He comes out to Brian Donlan, 13 points to 11 in favour of Gunlow in that intermediate game. The ball comes out to Cormac Murphy. Murphy shoots for the Mills, and Murphy puts another nail in the coffin of Ruan. 2 goals and 20 for Ruan, and 15 points for the Mills. And it looks like that, Ruan are making a couple of substitutions. I see Dara Corey is coming on. Also, Jamie Ryan, as they try to freshen up things. Dara McInerney, I'd say, may have picked up an injury. He looked out in his feet there. And it looks like, is it James Cullen is the man gone off? And, it is Cullen who's gone off, and he must have picked up an injury, but no, he did look out in his feet maybe, Pat, because he has some amount of ground covered here. But look at no fault on his part today.
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the young players of the year, as far as I'm concerned, in Clare hurling, and maybe the young player in the championship we've seen so far. Obviously, there's a couple of big matches to come yet. Brilliant centre back, and so young. And so much to offer both Ruan and Clare in the future, as is the free out for Ruan.
Yeah, and a free coming for Ashley Brohan for Ruan. Goes short. Out here, but he's robbed by and a high. And Pat Donlan gets up like a rubber ball, but that could have been more serious, Pat.
Absolutely. Ashley Brohan himself had clashed. No fault either of them, both looking at the ball. And in fairness, I think the ref is going to book Ashley Brohan, but one thing you have to hand to Pat Donlan is he bounced off of the ground, made absolutely nothing of it.
And it will be a free and a yellow card.
A real sportsman and a hard man.
Yeah, free for Ashley Brohan. Is it Michael McGrath is coming in now for O'Callaghan's Mills, another of the great servants, and it looks like is it Sean Cotter is going off.
Good game.
2 minutes left here in Gortine, and Shanka, he's had a very good game for O'Callaghan's Mills, Pat.
Good game, and the more he went on, the better he was. Very, very good for the Mills have been so even, and an awful lot of good fellas have been playing well. It's going to be hard to pick out one of them. Yeah,
and a free for Jacob Loughnane, and there's 2 minutes. O'Gunlow now down to up a point, 15, and Jacob 14. Puts another one over the bar, makes that 2-21 for O'Callaghan's Mills. 15 points for Ruan, and a puck out coming from Keelan Mounsey. 2 minutes of added time being signalled there by the linesman, John Bugler. John has bigger fish to fry tomorrow. Daniel Ganane coming in, and is Robin Mounsey. And there's no doubt Ruan know that their challenge is gone. And Robin, gingerly makes his way off the line. In fairness, he put up a tremendous performance with that injury he has. And now his Clare supporters will be hoping that he will just get himself right and get back for bigger days to come. And number 19, the sub Jamie Ryan there, making his appearances straight in, and a yellow card for a challenge on, I think, on this occasion, just Cormac Murphy. And You know, Ruan, in fairness, taking off their younger players. You know, they had got tired, and you know, in fairness, sensible management from Ruan. As Jacob Lucknan getting another bit of free taking practice, as they'll be setting up now for the challenge of Clarecastle in a couple of weeks' time. 2:21 for the Mills, 15 points for Ruan. Here comes Jacob getting plenty of target practice, puts it out of air. 2:22. It's a good score in any day's language, Pat.
It is a good score, 2:22, and we said, have they probably scored more in the second half with the wind? I'd say they have.
And that
or what you would expect, but I mean, Clarecastle was the opposite today.
That puck out from Mounds, he goes out his Rob. Here comes O'Gorman. O'Gorman gives it back to Brian. It's Brian Donlan. Brian Donlan shoots off his left, but it goes out to the left and gone wide. And Pat, as the game comes down into the closing stages, I see Aidan Lynch and Conor Cooney having a big chat up by the square. And indeed, with that, the final whistle goes here in Gorteen. I think Niall Malone blew up maybe just a bit before time, and on a scoreline of 2 goals and 22 to 14 points. It's out of 15 points. O'Connell's Mills, you know, we predicted that the Mills and Clarecastle would be the final from the outset. That has proved very much to be the case. A big final and a big challenge for both teams coming later on. Pat, your overall synopsis and maybe your man of the match from this Premier Intermediate semi-final.
First of all, this semi-final has gone, I suppose, according to plan. You know, the Mills were favourites from the outset. I suppose favourites for the championship from the outset, and they've proven it. And look at Ruan, fair play, great battling qualities, some great individual performances. You can see, I can see there that Robin Mounds is really limping in a bit of pain as the game is over. He came off there with a minute left, but he has given absolute showed his class several times during the game. A really, really good player, and let's hope he'll recover from a Clare point of view. Likewise, James Cullinan, we were singing his praises all day, but deservedly so. A brilliant young player, and a few other players for Ruan who shone out. Jason Power Carlbeck, I think, has always shown a real effort. Patrick O'Halloran at times. Frankie Lyons trying his best to get into it, but was tightly marked by the full back line. Colin McNamara or Keith Donlan, whoever was nearest him there at the time. Aidan Lynch tried hard as well. But for the Mills, the Mills, we had great performances from. We praise Sean Cotter deservedly so. I thought their midfield of Fionn Hickey and Cormac Murphy are both very, very effective as well. Jacob Lucknan, about 9 points from frees. But overall, I think when it came to cutting out danger, reliability and just solidifying the defence, I think we can't look past Conor Cooney. I just think he's such a solid, serious operator back there. So will we go over to Conor Cooney for a deserved Man of the Match award with competition from a few other Mills lads as well.
Yeah, and indeed we're going to take a break here in Gorteen. We have to get a word with a member of the management of the winning team. So we thank our joint collaboration between Scariff Community Radio with East Clare Driving School and Clare GA for bringing this broadcast to here live from Gorteen. Pat, thanks you for your analysis here in Gorteen as the Mills look forward to the final, and thanks to Ellen Foodie on camera and production here. So with that, we're going to take a suss, and we're going to get a member from the winning management. We'll see who will.
Jason's bending now.
Yeah, Jason, and he hits it high. Is it coming inside? Just about goes in.
Yeah.
First score on the board from Darren Maroney. He puts that ball into space where Aidan Lynch, the workhorse. Here's Aidan, throws it up and shoots on sight. That's a brilliant score from the stick.
Down over the bar in one goal. What a player.
And that puck out from Killian Nugent was intercepted there by the wing forward. Patrick O'Halloran next on the challenge. Gets the ball back out to Conor Henry. Conor shoots it into the breeze. Is it going to come inside? A shot from Conor Henry. Great reply from Patrick O'Gorman. Gary gets down on it. Gary trying to take on O'Gorman. Gary turns a shot from McCooney, the former Clare senior final tomorrow. The ball breaks out to O'Halloran, the wing forward for Ruan, and he equals proceedings here. 3 points for the wife John Hickey. Sean Boyce, first time he got a bit of space. Is he going to have a pot? Puts it up into the air. Sean Boyce shoots, and Sean Boyce does what Sean Boyce does. Puts Hickey. The middle moving well. Gets that ball into the midfield where Murphy goes to for the second, and Murphy puts that ball over the bar. In fairness, being well marked by Keaton, and here's Frankie turns back out. Is he going to have a pop? Frankie has a pop, and Frankie puts it over the bar, makes the score. Ball from Killy Nugent with the strike, came out to McInerney. McInerney gives the ball out to Jack McDonough. Jack McDonough shoots, and Jack McDonough makes it a score. Patrick Dinty time, but he's taking a bit quicker than normal. Here's Lynch, strikes it down towards the road goals at the Queen Inn. Same response, that ball into the middle, but he overhits it. Now we're delighted to be joined here at the end of the Premier Intermediate semi-final by a selector on the O'Callaghan's Mills team. Didn't many club teams will have a member of your parliament on the sideline, a man advising the government, and now he's advising the Mills team. Joe Cooney, you're welcome here to Clare GATV.
Thank you very much, Leo.
Joe, good win for O'Callaghan's Mills. You know, tricky conditions with the breeze. 222 to 15 points, comprehensive in the end, but I suppose a lot done, more to do.
No, you said it. Look, it was a good win, but I must give credit to Ruan. They fought it out very hard from the word go, more so in the second half when they were against the elements. They have a fantastic team, Ruan, but in fairness to our lads, they played well all through. They had a great first half. Maybe the tempo dropped a bit in the second half, but overall it was a great performance, a great team performance, and also the subs on both sides done well, they went on. But again, as you said, tricky conditions. I must give a compliment to our Bearfield GA club. The pitch was simply fantastic after all the rain over the last number of days. Great credit to everyone, but again, a lot of work to be done. A big intermediate final coming up, and as we all know, that's going to be a tough game of hurling.
Yeah, and I suppose, Pat, you know, you have to give credit to your own lads, and especially in the first half. I think the intervention of the cool buyer, Keely Nugent, he made 3 outstanding saves when Ruan were putting the pressure on with the breeze, and any of them goals would have given him an influence, but in fairness to Nugent, he stood tall, 3 good saves.
Simply fantastic saves. And again, look at Killian, is a fantastic goal. He has been for a lot of years. But again, Ruan put the pressure on us. They took on our defence, got inside it on a couple of occasions. But great credit due to Killian. He made fantastic saves, and it probably kept us in the game in the first half.
And then, of course, the game switched totally then just before half time with the intervention, of course, of another inter-county man, Clare under 20 corner forward, Sean Boyce, who put the ball past Mounsey. Big score, Joe, and a great boost going in before half time.
a big score, but a well-worked score, and it must compliment our team in the way they walked that ball up the field. We were coming under a bit of pressure, I suppose, as you said. If Ruan had scored, they needed 3 opportunities they had, and one for the one to hard work and trying. They would have put us on the back foot, but that was a fantastic goal. But I must give credit to the lads that walked it up the field, but also give credit to Shawnee who put it into this. And we all know it is easy talking the line, but you have to put it away, and he got the opportunity, he did put it away.
Yeah, and of course the man that got the chance in the second half to really put the game to bed was young Clare there at full forward. Colin Clare at full forward. Another man with serious experience for a young age, and took the ball in and put it past Mounsey. That was the game, the final score, and put it to bed, Joe.
I did, but look, Colin had been out of the country there for a number of months. He hadn't been training with us, but he's back with us now for the last month again, and he's beginning to get for him. Fantastic hurler again. A lot of good young hurlers there, but as you said rightly so, Colin puts it away well. But when you get those opportunities, you don't get them too often, and you need to put them away, and you get the chance, because you won't win matches if we don't put them away.
Pet or Joe, you have a good mix in the team of youth and experience, and no better men than that young Cooney that played at full back. But I think the introduction of Brian Donlan at wing forward, he really improved things, and Conor Henry had worked a lot in the first half, but Donlan opened up the play at will in the second half, and it's great to be, and then of course to bring on Patrick Donlan, it's great to be able to bring players of that experience and ability into the team when you're going for home.
You need experience, and you need seasoned players like the Donlans, 2 fantastic players. But I must say, in fairness to Conor Henry, he played fantastic as well. But at that stage, maybe on the final furlong for home, you need to bring in a bit of experience, and it's great to have that experience there in your panel, which is vital and important. But again, we have to give credit to all the lads out there today that tried their heart out. Their work rate was good, but that's what you need to win games. And as both of us know, that's what's going to be needed in 2 weeks' time as well, in the intermediate final.
And Joe, speaking of 2 weeks' time, I suppose both the Mills and Clarecastle were tipped to get to the final at the outset. That has proved to be the case at the end of a really, really competitive Premier Intermediate Championship. Joe, Clarecastle and Mills, it's going to be a massive challenge for the Mills, also a massive challenge for Clarecastle, but a game really worth looking forward to.
Look, it is going to be a massive challenge for both clubs. Both clubs want to get back up senior, and there's no point saying we don't. As you said yourself, it's been a fantastic Premier Intermediate Championship. Great credit to the County Board for running this championship, and you've also a fantastic Intermediate Championship. So again, look, it is going to be an interesting final, and as both of us know, weather conditions, like what you said today, there was bad weather conditions there today. I suppose showers came early in the game, the wind was there till come down to the day, till come down to the attitude of the both teams on the day, and I think it's going to be final well worth looking forward to. And look at, as again, it is who's best prepared, who's ready for the final, will probably get off the line on the day.
Yeah, and Joe, once again, congratulations on the victory today. I know you'll enjoy it in a light way tonight, and preparations for the final will start tomorrow. Joe, as always, going to meet him.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Liam. Thank you.